Today I'm going to be playing against my viewers with basically only wood and sheep. Keep watching. Let's get to the game. Placing first, blue places on the 5, 8, 10. I think this is an easy first pick. The 5, 8, 10 is very powerful. Getting the ore on this board is essential since it's all located at the bottom and the ore is extra rare because of the 12 on one of the ore spots. More importantly, the 5, 8, 10 gets the best brick on the board. The reason why this is so important is because there's a high influx of wood on the board. If you look at the board, there's a 6 wood, the 9 wood, the 8 wood, and the 4 wood. Since wood and brick are always used together, with such a high influx of wood, there should be a high demand for brick in this game. Blue also points his road downwards, which gives him the brick port on the 8 ore, and he can also expand onto the 9, 10. That 9, 10 spot is very good, since it not only gives blue a 3, 1 port, but also the best wheat tile in this game to match with that ore. Remember, ore and wheat are used together. In the second position, red places on the 3, 4, 5, which secures the rare ore and also gets them the valuable rare wheat. I haven't said this on my channel in a while, so I gotta do it. Remember, no wheat equals defeat, and also, no ore equals 7-point score. Ore and wheat are essential to get, and that's exactly what red does, and gets both. Also, red gets the 2 points of brick, which once again is going to be very valuable in this game. They point their road to the super valuable wood port, but I'm not so sure about that. But we'll get to that later. So, I'm placing in the third position as black. I want you to pause the video and comment below. Where would you place and why? Come on, go ahead and do it. Helps both of us out because you get to practice and I get engagement through the YouTube algorithm. I place on the 6, 4, 11 because there's a valuable sheep port on the 11 wheat. In addition, the 6, 4, 11 is a very safe pick. There are many spots that go well with the 6, 4, 11. For example, the 5, 9, 10 goes well with the 6, 4, 11 because you have the sheep port, and there's the same deal with the 8, 3, 10. The 4, 9, 11 also goes well with it because you can expand onto the 5, 11 and you get more wheat along with the starting road. And lastly, you also have the option of placing onto the 6, 3 and using a free starting road to build to the 8, 3. So, I like the 6, 4, 11 because it's very flexible and has a lot of second settlement outs. Now, it's the fourth position's turn, and I know they have a tough choice. So I decide to start scheming and come up with a devious plan. A-Rod, so here what I was thinking, right? Alright, so I'm saying you could deny blue a good chunk of space by going on the 3, 9, 11 instead of going the 9, 4, 11, if that makes sense. Basically, what that does is it takes down the 6, 3, 11 pick.
Well, right, but then, like, what do you say I take with the 9, 3, 11? That just doesn't feel like I have...
6, 4, 2, and you plow to the wood port. I think it's a great spot.
I can lose my brick pretty easily.
But how is anyone going to gain a brick? That's the real question. I know it's fourth position, it seems sort of scary. But you still have the free road, and it's not like second position is going to be able to get a brick. After that, I briefly got disconnected, but the gods blessed me as I reconnected to green's manipulated placement. Now, let's see my plan spring into action. So, this is why you don't want to listen to Dylighted, since what happens right here is with the setup. What happens is, so, I take the 5, 9, 10, right? Red, they take the 8, 3, 10. And now, I tell blue, yo, blue, you want the wood port with the free road to more ore? To the 10, 9? Of course you do. And now green gets boned. So that's why the 6, 4, 2, 9, 3, 11 setup is not that great. Having the 5, 9, 10, having double 3, 1 is just slightly better. And then this way I also get more sheep in this spot. I get more sheep in this spot, which is better for my sheep port. So I think I'd rather do something like this. However, I can actually take the 6, 3 myself and build to the 8, 3, which leaves me with a pretty strong setup. However, if I do this, one of the consequences of this is blue gets in the 8, 3, 10. I'm not sure if I want to give them a 10-point producing spot when they already have one of the best starting settlements of the game, the 5, 8, 10. Red places on the 8, 3, 10. Now, it's blue's turn to pick. But real quick, if you're enjoying the video, then click the like button. It helps me out tremendously. I was thinking, what do you do now since, you don't have that much space? What do you think is a good move? See, I see a great move for you. Would you like me to say it out loud for you?
Sure.
What's the highest producing spot that gets you a strong port?
Yeah, 9, 10.
I'm so sorry, A-Rod.
I think he's
What have I done?
talking about the
I'm talking about the 6, 3. It gets you the wood port, and the wood port's really good on this board with so much wood. And you get a lot, and I get more brick, which is also really good trading material. You get a starting road and building to the 9-10 or the 8-3. They're both great options. And you get extra value since you bone over 2 people. Oh god. Guys, what have I done? I told green to go here, knowing that they'd get boned on the 6-3. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, shit. Oh man, I'm so sorry. Do you see anywhere appealing, Mr. Build Model?
6-3 or 10-9. But the 10-9 is quite open. I can just build towards that.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So by getting the 6-3, you can get the 10-9 and the 6-3.
Nice.
Oh man, someone says, are you gonna do your patrons like that? Oh, hey, well, would you rather me not have me try in game? Hopefully A-Rod forgives me. If you want to experience these games live and hang out with the community, then come watch me on Twitch. I'll link it inside the description below. Now, I do weekly viewer games with those who support me on patreon.com. So if you want to battle me, join my Patreon for $5. I've won 7 out of the 10 games I've played, so someone come and stop me. So the game begins and it 4 rolls. Then, blue builds a road towards the 9-10. On red's turn, a 3 rolls, giving people brick. And red decides to end the turn and not drop a road. Now, it's my turn, and I roll a 6. I know blue has a road in hand, but he also doesn't produce sheep. So, I throw out a 1-for-1 trade, targeting the brick. I really need as many trades as possible this game, since I'm basically only on wood and sheep. Yo, you want some sheep? I don't think I got a cheap deal like this. Oh, dude, yes! Wow. Yes! The reason why this is good for me, chat, is because look at all this sheep on this board. Someone else can jack the trade right before me, especially red. Also, typically, I wouldn't recommend breaking your own road for sheep, since you know you can get sheep trades pretty easily. You could have asked for 2 sheep, and I probably would have said yes also, in the spot. On green's turn, he drops a road towards the 6-11, then ends his turn. Blue rolls an 8, giving him that precious ore, then he ends his turn. On red's turn, red rolls another 3, putting even more sheep and brick in their hand. Red is trying to trade their sheep for a brick, and I try my best to talk it down. Red drops 2 roads towards the 8-3. They're close to building onto the 8-3. On my turn, I roll a 5, filling my hand with more sheep. On green's turn, he rolls a 6, giving more wood and sheep on the board. He offers a wheat for an ore here, because this gives green a development card, and blue snaps yes to this trade, because they don't produce any wheat, and that wheat they just got is basically a future settlement on the 9-10. On blue's turn, he rolls a 10. I recognize they have 3 sheep in hand, and they're actually pretty close to the settlement. So, I decide to throw out a trade. So I'm gonna offer you 2 sheep for an ore. This doesn't do anything for me, but I think it gives you a 4-for-1. And then, next time all I'm asking is we do a 1-for-1 for your brick, for whatever card I want, which is most likely gonna be sheep, which is something you don't produce, or it's gonna be wood, which is pretty good for you also, since you own a bunch of brick. I knew this trade was giving blue a settlement, but I'm still not sure how valuable it was for me. The 9-10 is very good for blue. If I can delay him getting that, that's quite good for me. I just saw the opportunity to waste all of blue's rare sheep on a 4-for-1, and to lock in a future brick trade. On red's turn, they roll an 8, getting more ore and wood on the board. Red buys a development card, then ends their turn. On my turn, sitting at 6 cards, I could 4-for-1 for a wheat, or I could pass. However, I decided to pass, rather than 4-for-1 for a wheat. The reason for this is because I didn't want to get robbed, because now my hand is an ore and a wheat, which are valuable cards on this board. Preferably, I would want to 4-for-1 my sheep for a wheat and use it immediately, so no one can steal from me, and potentially steal wheat, which is basically worth 4 cards to me. Speaking of stealing, you can get a steal of a deal by checking out colonist.io. I've been getting a bunch of comments recently like this. Colonist.io is a free online Catan site where you can play with your friends or random online opponents. That's actually where I play my games and where I make my videos. It has a 5 to 6 player expansion and the Seafarers expansion, and they're only working on more. The expansions aren't free, but you only need 1 person to own the expansion for an entire group to play. That's like $5 per person. Anyways, check out colonist.io if you want to play the online Catan base game for free with your friends or with some random opponents. I honestly think this is the best way to play Catan online. Anyways, back to the video. A 4 is rolled, giving green and red wheat. Then on blue's turn, he rolls a 9, giving him wheat. Then on red's turn, another 9 rolls, giving another wheat to blue. Now blue is dangerously close to a city. They have 2 wheat and 2 ore in hand. That's quite good. On my turn, I roll an 11, giving me wheat. Now I'm at 10 cards, but I have a pretty stuck hand. I'm gonna have to do a trade this turn in order to do something. So, I throw out a wood for a sheep trade. With red rejecting my offer, I decide to throw in some extra incentive for red to trade with me.
Let me see.
Go ahead. Think about it. Let me go ahead and try getting some ore or slash wheat off.
I'd rather not. I'll be having too many cards that I can't really use at the moment.
This will only bring you to 6 cards. You got a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
What if I give you this 2 for 1, and the next time I will not put the robber on you also? Sound good?
That sounds good.
Alright. It's like not the best trade for me. Alright. Perfect. With this trade, and now I can 4 for 1 and build onto the sheep port. On Green's turn, he plays a road bidding. Then he drops a settlement onto the 5-11, getting him access to ore and doubling up on the brick. On Blue's turn, he rolls an 8. With that, he has an early city in hand on the triple shared 5 ore, doubling his brick, and he already has a strong expansion spot onto the 9-10. Blue is in a very, very good position. On Red's turn, he rolls a 6. Oh, so you need a sheep. So by him offering this trade, what it tells me is his hand is 4 sheep because he wants us to do a 4 for 1. He has 2 wood, and I think he has a wheat. So he does have a brick in hand. So now we know, because he offered this trade, we can back solve it, and now we know his hand is 1 wood, 4 sheep. 2 wood, 4 sheep, and a wheat. Oh, wait, hold up. I'll give you the sheep. I'll give you the sheep. You scared me.
Okay.
Alright. So Blue has a city, right? And I think we can agree that he's doing quite well. I guess if you could block him on the 10 or the 9, I'll give you the sheep for whatever you steal from him. And whatever he steals from him is a wood. With that, I strike up a deal with Red. He puts it on the 9 wheat, and I give him my sheep for whatever he steals from Blue. With that, Red, he gets a settlement, both parties are happy, and the leader is blocked. On my turn, I roll a 3. Since the 3 rolled, and now Blue has brick in hand, it's time for them to fulfill their deal. I decide to drop a more risky road towards the 10 sheep. The reason I did this is because I'm trying to get as many cheap settlement spots as possible. There's something called a triangle road settlement, where you only need to build 1 road and you can drop a settlement. And I'm trying to maximize the efficiency of my starting road by getting triangle road settlements. The last thing I want to be doing is building 2 roads for a single settlement, because that is very expensive, and when you're behind, you cannot afford expensive. So I take a risk and mark my territory on the 10 sheep, 3-1 port. Another fine alternative here is to simply hold the road and not play it. However, by doing this play, it should slightly disincentivize Red from racing me to the 3-1 port. On Green's turn, he drops a settlement onto the 6-12, giving them strong access to sheep and a 12 ore. Green might just be able to expand onto the 9-12, giving them double wheat, a triple shared ore, and double sheep, which will put Green in a very good position. On Blue's turn, he rolls an 8, giving him 2 ore. That is very good for Blue. Then on Red's turn, he rolls a 9. Oh my god. This is like a crap setup compared to like a monster setup. Not good. Alright. He built a settlement. Did they trade? Oh, he just dropped a settlement. Okay. I was looking at chat. Alright, he's making a decision where he wants to drop his road.
Either I raise Dylighted for the 3 for 1.
And I'm at 5 cards already.
I desperately need, and he has 5 cards.
So, I have a sheep port, and I'm already at 5 cards, as he said.
Yeah.
So with the sheep port, I'll also tell you another fact. I already got one of my difficult objectives, which is the wheat. So, it's not looking too good for you, if you do race me.
I know.
But if you want to commit a road there, go for it.
Well, it's not an option, is it?
Alright, whew. Oh, okay, good.
Just go
Red settle here, thank you. So the thing is, if he does race me, the thing is he needs to roll another 3. It's sort of high rolling. And he does have early positioning on me. Well, he did roll another 3. I passed my turn right here, but I think this is a golden opportunity to trade with Red. I definitely should have tried, and I got lazy here. On Green's turn, a 10 rolls, adding more sheep and brick on the board. Then, Green punishes me by offering a wood for an ore trade. And to my surprise, Red takes that trade.
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
If only I offered my wood on my turn, it could have been me getting that wood for ore trade. Then, on Blue's turn, he rolls a 3. And then, oh god, that's so bad. Another brick. He's actually gonna plow me. Chat, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. I'm actually about to get plowed. He has 3 brick in hand. Or 4 brick in hand. He's gonna be able to get a brick trade and plow me. God. I mean, he doesn't have it exactly, but he still has quite a bit.
Because I could still take it away from Dylighted.
What does this do for you, Blue?
Do this for a depth card.
Hearing that, I snap yes to this trade. The reason for this is because I don't produce brick, and because I know Red is going to be going towards my 3-1 port 10 sheep, and I really want to protect that. And if I do get cut off, this makes my hand a road and a settlement. it's red's turn. And if he rolls a 4, he has enough to build 2 roads backwards onto the 10 sheep. I'm terrified. 6, okay, I dodged it. That's good. Now he's gonna trade 1 brick and an ore.
Does someone have a wheat for me? I'll give you a brick.
Yeah, he's gonna trade his brick since he has 4 brick in hand. He's trying to plow back.
Do you need anything to 4 for 1?
You want some wood? You can go down to the 8 ore.
I already have the 8. Like further down.
Yeah. You take away blue spot.
1 for 1 then.
Are you building downwards to the 8 ore? This doesn't really do
Yes.
much for me. Alright, okay. So it gives him road, right? Since he builds 2 reds and he takes red. But also it's just about taking away blue's expansion spots, I think. The brick's just more useful for me since I can do roads. Since I can, my wood is now actionable. A 3 again? Oh my god, that's so good.
3s.
Yeah. I need a city ASAP. On green's turn, he rolls a 7, and he dumps a bunch of wood. Now, he has the power to move the robber and steal from someone. Green is searching for ore.
I'm looking for ore. I know you have one of them in your hand.
I do, but blue is also in the 5 and the 8, and they have a city up there. No, I think you just definitely should put on the 8 no matter what. Because if you're going to rob the guy with only wood sheep, I don't know what to tell you. It's a 1 in 4 chance you can just do it. I think robbing the guy who's on the 5 ore and the 8 ore, there's just a much better chance you're going to be able to get
I
an
have
ore.
1 ore.
When was the last time a 5 or an 8 was thrown?
Listen, they have a city, and they have the wheat, and have the port.
I know. It's probably right. I was just trying to get an ore off you.
If you're going to try to extort me, you have to be reasonable at least about it. Like, make it believable. I'll call Green's bluff. They're not going to be stealing from me. Objectively, blue is crushing this game. I think it would be pretty crazy for Green to try to rob me here. So, I say no to being extorted, and call him out on his bluff. Green 4 for 1 sheep for an ore, then ends his turn. Green's setup is actually pretty good.
Alright, Dylan, I'm about to rob you, unless you can convince me otherwise.
Alright, so have you heard of the word the plow?
No.
So what the plow means is losing your settlement spots. Alright? And you see how red is trying to plow you onto the 8 ore?
Mm-hmm.
You can avoid that by robbing red. I'm blocking the precious 4 wheat. In addition, with blocking the 4 wheat, it makes it so you're the only person who basically produces wheat.
Does red also have an ore?
Does red
No,
also
I
have an
don't.
ore? I don't think they have an ore.
8 and
I also forgot to mention that green has an ore in hand.
I'm not trying to plow you. I'm doing this fully on Dylighted's idea in the first place.
Oh, that is a plow. That is the
Anyone
plow.
plowing.
You're right.
No.
You're right.
Yeah, all
It
right.
is Dylan's fault. It is Dylan's fault.
Wait. Oh my god.
Ah, very nice.
Him stealing from me is really bad.
And I
Since...
don't view this as plowing. I'm just settling near you.
No,
like a
don't worry.
friend,
It was Dylan's
like a
fault.
neighbor.
It was Dylan's fault.
Oh my
No,
god. On red's turn, he settles on the 8 ore, and with his new brick port, he 2 for 1's brick for a wheat and buys a development card. On my turn, I roll a 7, and blue discards half his cards. I put the robber on the 5 ore, and I also steal from blue. Even though blue is at 4 points, and red is at 7 points with 1 down development card, I still think that blue is winning this game because he has such strong production with good ore and wheat. Blue also has a precious brick and ore in hand, which are both resources that I need. So, I steal from blue and I get the ore. Nice. I'd also like to make a note that I actually forgot about fulfilling red's deal of not blocking them the next time I rolled a 7. But in situations like these, where both players forget, there's really not much you can do. I tend to write my future deals and promises inside the chat on colonist.io, so no one forgets it. But in this case, I had to reconnect so the chat was cleared. On green's turn, he rolls a 7. Then green moves the robber onto the 8 ore and steals from blue, recognizing that blue, while not winning in points, is winning in production. One of the strongest correlations of who wins the game is looking at production. At the very end of the game, you can see the number of resources produced through dice rolls over here. And over here is the total number of resources gained. Those stats right there have a strong correlation of who wins the game. It's usually the people that produce the most cards that win the game. On blue's turn, he rolls a 5, giving him another 2 ore. On red's turn, he rolls an 8. He trades a sheep for a brick. And with that, he ends his turn. It's also important to note, on red's turn, he didn't play a development card before he rolled. What that tells me is that development card right there is not a knight card, since red would have played it. It's my turn, and I roll another 8. I'm at 5 cards, and there's not too much for me to do. While some people might port their sheep for a wheat and ore, you don't do that in situations like these. You want to be keeping yourself flexible by having the sheep act as wheat or ore, since it could become both. For example, if I ported my 2 sheep for a wheat and then an 11 rolled, I would have 3 wheat and 2 ore. But if I held the sheep and an 11 rolled, then I would have a city. On the other hand, if you port your sheep for an ore, then your hand becomes 1 sheep and 3 ore. So if someone steals from you, it's a 75% chance that they steal an ore from you, which is basically 2 cards. And since red and blue don't have cities up, they are going to be searching for ore. On green's turn, he rolls a 10, adding more brick and sheep in the game. Then, green offers a trade. He offers a brick for a sheep. I think I could have taken this trade with green because it's a rare brick that I don't produce. However, since I'm only 1 sheep away from a city, I decide to not take this trade and let my opponent trade instead. With that trade going down, green goes ahead and buys a development card. On blue's turn, he rolls a 7. Then, he's trying to figure out where to put the robber and who to steal from. Then, blue's about to steal from green, but green offers this.
Green, I won't steal from you if you don't block me.
Yo, A-Rod, you have to block the 8 ore, it's not a choice.
I have to block you, but I won't steal from you if you don't steal from me.
Okay.
So with that proposition, blue decides to steal from red instead. With that, blue goes ahead and ports 3 of his brick for a wheat and buys a development card. On red's turn, he rolls a 10, giving more sheep and brick on the board. It's my turn now, and I roll a 9. Nice. I'm able to dodge the 7 and have a city in hand. A D card already, since this is a sheep, this is a wheat, and I think they have another ore, which so it sucks. I have to get a city here. You'd have to buy a city here. Is there one more? I think you have to upgrade it. Is cereal a soup?
Yeah.
I think not. I decided to upgrade the 5-9-10 spot over the 6-4-11. It's more production, and my opponents have shown that they're willing to block the 6 sheep. So, that's a spot that I don't want to be upgrading. While I would like to upgrade the 6-4-11 to upgrade my wheat, I think building a city on the 5-9-10 to increase my sheep production, so I can utilize that sheep port a little bit more, is probably better. It's green's turn, and he rolls a 9, adding more wood and wheat in the game. Green offers an ore for a wood and a wheat, but his trade gets rejected. Then he offers an ore for 2 brick, and with that, blue snaps yes to that trade. It brings blue under 7 cards, and it gets him that precious ore. With that trade, green is able to drop 2 roads towards the 9-12. So now, it's blue's turn, and he plays a knight.
Alright, we're in this situation again.
Here we go again.
6 sheep or 4 wheat.
Well, you still know that no one has wheat, right? Since none of the 4s have rolled.
And then do I rob from red or green? That's the question now.
Blue plays a knight card, and moves the robber onto the 4 wheat, and steals from red. He's successfully able to get a sheep, which is exactly what he's looking for. Then, blue drops a city onto the 9-10. However, I think that's a mistake. If blue were to drop a city, they should have been dropping it onto the 6-3. The reason for this is because this turns the 6 wood into a free card. Because now when the 6 rolls, they'll be getting 2 wood, and they can turn that 2 wood into whatever they want. The 10 brick for blue is already a free card because they're going to be getting 3 brick when the 10 rolls, which they can 3-1 for whatever resource they want. By upgrading the 9-10, all it does is make the 9 wheat a super huge robber target. I think upgrading the 6-3 in general makes blue's setup a lot harder to block and therefore more unstoppable. Then, blue drops a road backwards to the 6 wood. On red's turn, they drop a 9 on the 4-5 segment, then end their turn. I think red dropped the road right there because they're trying to defend the longest road and make sure that green can't connect. On my turn, I roll a 4, and I have a decision to make. I can buy an expensive development card by porting my wood for 7-card development card, which normally costs 3 cards, which is really inefficient. However, I decide to prioritize towards a city because I'm still behind in production. The thing with port strategies is even if you are leading in production, you're still technically not winning in production. Because you're going to be porting all your cards, your production is cut in half. Or if you use a 3-1 port, it's cut into 1/3 of what you want. So because of that, I really need to upgrade my production. I decide to port 3 wood and 2 sheep away. I choose to port my wood and sheep in this scenario for 2 specific reasons. First, I want my hand to be bigger so I can protect my rare ore. I know people are searching for ore, so if a 7 does roll, and if I do get robbed from, there's a better chance that they'll steal my wood. So it's a lower chance they're able to steal an ore from me. And the second reason is because I already know everyone has wood. So, if a 7 does roll and they're choosing someone to steal from, I can say, look man, my hand is filled with wood, and there's a strong chance you're gonna get it if you steal from me. And I know that wood is not desirable for them, so they're probably not gonna steal from me. So with that, I end my turn, and it's green's turn. They roll a 4, and they end their turn. On blue's turn, he rolls a 3. On red's turn, he rolls a 7, and he puts it onto the 6 sheep. Now he's trying to figure out who to steal from.
Dylighted has 2 ores in hand.
I have a bunch of woods in hand. But also, green is racing you for longest road. If you want your longest road jacked, then you can not rob from me.
He just hit his 3. He'll be fine.
Red runs out of time, and the bot automatically steals from me. Dang. However, they do get a wood and not my ore, so I'm still fine over there. Red drops 2 more roads, extending his longest road, and preventing green from connecting. On my turn, I roll a 6, and unfortunately, it's blocked, so I end my turn. Then, green rolls another 6. Ouch, it's blocked again. Plinius, from an objective point of view, I think blue's sort of crushing us with 2 cities.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's gonna take army. And,
Oh god. Blue then drops a road and a settlement onto the 6th wood, putting him at 6 points. But remember, he's only 1 night card away from getting an additional 2 points, putting him at 8 points. The reason why I think blue is doing so well is because he's on strong ore and wheat, and this allows him to build very quick cities to close out the game. He's also got the ports and flexibility he needs to crush the game. Then on red's turn, he rolls a 5, then ends his turn. On my turn, I roll an 8, giving even more ore on the board. Ouch. I offer 2 wood for an ore, and green takes that deal. Perfect. That gives me a perfect city. With that, I drop a city on the 6-4-11 and end my turn. On green's turn, he rolls a 5, bringing even more ore on the board. Green 4-for-1s his wood for a wheat, and then he buys a development card. Then, on blue's turn, he rolls an 11. Blue is searching for sheep so they can buy more dev cards to take the largest army and win the game. And red snaps yes to that trade. Uh-oh, this is pretty dangerous for the table. With that trade, blue buys a development card. On red's turn, he rolls a 10, giving brick and sheep on the board. Blue's at 10 cards now. On red's turn, I know he's looking for a city, and he offers a 3-for-3 trade. He's looking for 3 sheep, so then he can 4-to-1 a sheep for a city. However, I know red has 1 more card to give, and I ask him to show it to me. So, he spits out a 3-for-4 trade, and I'm getting him a city, and it brings him to 9 points, since I think that 1 hidden development card is probably a victory point. What this does for me is that it changes my hand so I can buy 1 development card to 2 development cards. In addition, I know that green has 2 roads on hand. He's going to be extending roads to take away longest road because I'm bringing red to 9 points. So essentially, by taking this trade and putting red at 9 points, I'm forcing green to take the longest road away from red because now red is going to be at 9 points. Overall though, I'm really not a fan of this trade because I'm giving red a city and I can still get 7'd out and lose half my hand. So, it's my turn and I roll a 9. I buy a development card here, and it's a road bidding. It lets me build 2 free roads. Now getting the road bidding card, it changes my plans. Originally, I was going to try to get largest army. Now I want to try to get to 10 points by sneaking the longest road. But one thing for sure is that I'm probably not going to be buying another development card. So, I port my wood for a brick and I settle on the 5 sheep and end my turn. On green's turn, he rolls a 6. Then, he plays a knight card and moves the robber onto the 8 ore and steals from blue, sitting with a massive stack of 13 cards. Then, green drops 2 more roads. It's blue's turn. I'm praying for a 7. 7. We need 7.
Very nice.
Yes! Oh, that was necessary. Yeah. By the way, I just want to say, red is still at 9 points, even though they don't have any cards. But they are at 9 points for sure. Blue discards half his hand and moves the robber onto the 4 wheat and takes a card from green, as red doesn't have any cards. Also, keep in mind, blue didn't play a knight card before he rolled. So, for sure, we know that 1 down development card that blue has is not a knight. He buys a development card and ends his turn. On red's turn, he rolls a 6. Then, on my turn, I roll a 10, getting me more sheep, but blue gets 4 brick. On my turn, I play a road building and drop a settlement onto the 5-2. Now, it's important to note, where you drop the roads actually matter for the road bidding. You can drop the roads onto the top left side of the 5 sheep, or you can drop the roads from the bottom. I chose the bottom area because it prevents red from further extending the longest road. And in the longer term, I think it's safer for green to hold the longest road. My plan to win this game is get a victory point and drop a city for the win, or to somehow take the longest road. On green's turn, he 4-for-1s his ore for a dev card and ends his turn.
yeah, losing anyways, doesn't matter.
Oh jeez, that's so painful. 4 ore for wheat? This might just be the last turn of the game, because I'm pretty sure one of blue's development card is a victory point, which puts him at 7 points. And that other dev card might just be a knight card, which puts him at 9 points. Then, blue's sitting at 9 cards, and that might just be enough cards to bring him to 10 points. But then, blue asks for a trade. Nice. The only reason why blue would be asking for a trade here as if he couldn't win the game right now. He uses his wood port and 2-to-1s his wood for his sheep. With that, he buys another development card and ends his turn. It looks like that blue does not have a knight this turn. Yes! Oh, yes! The reason why I'm cheering right here is because green bought a development card on his turn. If that development card is a knight, that means the largest army will go to green and not blue, which will extend the game for a little bit longer. Then, on my turn, I roll a 4. But then, I need to make sure of my plans. I ask green the question. Hey, Ron, you got a knight?
I really wish I did.
No! But also, because I'm tracking, I come up with a devious plan. I know someone has 2 brick in the spawn, right? Say yes, please. Say yes. Do it. Do it. Do it. Please.
Is that for me too, Dylan?
It's for you.
Let's see.
Chat. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it.
What do you need bricks for?
I'm probably gonna try to just build a road.
What do you think?
Yes!
He's traded the win. Oh my god.
Yeah, you should have done that. You should have done that, dude. You should have done that.
I probably should have said something. Oh my.
Oh my god, I don't deserve that at all.
Damn. GG.
Man, what a game. Winning with basically only wood and sheep. If you want to join in on my weekly viewer games, then go ahead and check out my Patreon. It's only $5 a month and it helps me out tremendously. Thank you so much for everyone who supports me on patreon.com. I hope you enjoyed that game. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'm Dylighted and I hope you learned something.